certainly in the initial stages of a film, I think the first things that come to my mind are, what is the film going to look like, and how do I achieve that? And I think one of the easiest ways of doing that is to sit down and write out a list of tests that you'd want to achieve. Choices of lenses, choices of filters, particular lighting concepts that you might want to explore, and then bringing all of that together with the laboratory. Because ultimately, all the ideas in the world that you might want to achieve without the laboratory being on board, disaster. So, yeah, I mean, the idea is try to get that idea that's stuck in your head at the beginning of a film when you're reading the script and it all is like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do. So how do you achieve that on film? And I think the best way is not to just fail forward, so to speak, but to sit down and use some pre-production time to test and to iron out some ideas and stuff so that not only can you see that it's working, but the whole support group behind you, director, studio, and so forth, can see, wow, I can get excited about this. Despite the fact that the studio has greenlit the project and everybody's super excited about it, there is a tremendous amount of tentativeness and tension and uncertainty. And I think despite the idea of a test being primarily for the cinematographer, it's a chance for him to fail without, or her to fail without it costing the production too much time and money. The reality is that you can immediately get the whole machinery behind you on board and confident if you can find a look right away that everybody gets excited about. Making that lead actor or actress look good, creating a look through laboratory and stuff, which immediately people begin to sort of can visually, tactily see, oh my goodness, this is going to be awesome. 100 days of this is just going to be the best. In terms of the testing process, I, of course, have my own set of issues that I want to iron out and work out. But, of course, every other department has theirs as well. Very often when you're doing your testing for lighting, for lenses, for filtration, and so forth, makeup is doing similar tests behind the scenes. So is wardrobe. Even our department wants to see what a particular fabric will look like or paint will look like and so forth. So it's a chance for all of us to try things. And, I must say the collaboration that you have with other departments is paramount to the look of the picture. If in your mind you see a very monochromatic look, but the art department or the wardrobe department sees a very sort of bright and colorful, more vivid idea, well, you're at cross purposes. And then you've got to figure out, what is the story asking? There's so many different choices for a look. What makes most sense, to support the story? And then everybody's got to get on board, because there's no sense in starting day one if every department isn't kind of on the same page. I like to use Kineflows, especially when I work with David, and I know he likes the use of Kineflows. They're very, very quick. They're easy to adjust, and part of lighting is making adjustments and so forth. But the nice thing about Kineflows is that the light falls on where you want it to fall on, and then it kind of dissipates very, very quickly, whereas traditional tungsten movie lamps and stuff have a tremendous projection or whatever, so you're constantly trying to cut the light off of where you don't want it to be and just keep it where you do want it to be. And with Kineflows, you could put the light just off the frame, it could hit the actors, and then it didn't contaminate a wall or beat something up. So for the no-light look, it was primarily achieved with Kineflows with a little bit of blue color on it to keep it that sort of, I guess, that sort of a moonlight room tone on the cooler side. And basically we just stapled these things right to the ceiling when we could, just as a little soft top, and then Kineflows just off the frame lines, whatever, to light the actors, keeping them all off the walls, and it just worked perfectly. Obviously, you don't want to put people in complete shadow the entire time, but certainly with all of the windows, we had the chance to, create moonlight. Certainly would have been justified. That moonlight could have, hit their faces, and they could have been lit in any places that we wanted them to be lit. And then by taking the moonlight away, we could have left the darkness on the walls and created this very, very spooky and eerie kind of place. But David wanted the audience to be able to see everything. He wanted to be able, as how it is when your eyes get adjusted to the darkness, is that you can see beyond that dark shadow and you can see into those shadows. So for that reason, we went against the moonlight feel. We went against this sort of super high contrast where you have areas that are fully at key, and then you can go completely into pitch black and the entire grayscale in between. And we went with something that was started dark and ended up dark, but not completely dark.
Hey, I'm rolling.
Hey, bring it up slowly. That's good, that's good. More, a little more. Now, feathers, now. Slower, you gotta step back.
One of the nice things about David Fincher is that he is very adamant about testing everything and taping everything so that we have a record and we know exactly what's going to happen once we get on the set.
And puffy, and go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's it. The propane tank was, to tell you the truth, a real pain in the ass, only because it was very difficult to find spitting fire coming out of a broken hose. And to give it this wacky, it was almost like Tex Avery. It was very cartoony in the sense that he wanted very erratic. He wanted it to be like a water hose that has been cut and the water is going everywhere, that kind of a thing, except with fire. Now, one can do it with fire, but it was very difficult to maintain. And there was a lot of CG, and believe me, I went through a lot of testing and many different ways of doing it. The spinning of the bottle was a piece of cake in a sense. We tested everything out well in advance. We shot it on tape, and John Dorsey, the associate producer, cut all this stuff together so that it gave David a real good idea as to how to progress with the entire scene.
So if we could put the gas for a heavier version of helium, is there
Yeah. It's not going to go bang. It won't go big bang.
Ready? Ready? One, two, three.
What's going to be the cue there?
When you see it, get back here.
When the fire gets to the tank.
Watch me. Here's your cue. On three. One, two, three. And on three. One, two, three. Arnold, one, two, three. And action.
And that's how we do it.
3, 2, 1. Hit it, Roy. Wow, man, that was good.
Roy. I want to feel it this time, Joe.
Pasha.
Here we go. We're there.
Roy.
RD. Not too fast.
3, 2, 1.
We are hot and ready. John, are you ready?
I'm rolling.
And 3, 2, 1. in the way. I'd like to be safe.
Well, my concern was, and that's why I said it, because I think you have to consider the bed frame and everything, and all the rest of the mechanics.
We just destroy all that work that's
Right,
invested
that's
in
all.
that could be all
Well,
day tomorrow rebuilding it, is what we're saying.
That's
But-
my suggestion. It's up to you guys.
Okay, let's smash. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, baby!
Rolling.
One of the other scenes that we did was of Forrest drilling into the wall with the pillows and the feathers, and oh my God, I don't know how many times we did that, but we had feathers everywhere, and it was real key that we had to do it on cue so that he puts the pillow up, he takes the drill, pushes it in, and then feathers start flying everywhere. In reality, it wouldn't necessarily do that. That pillow would be spinning on the end of it. So we scored it on the pillow so that he can actually drive into it, but the feathers were gagged behind it in the vent itself so that they would be flying outward. And we had feathers everywhere. We thought this was a movie about feathers.
Takes a few seconds.
Hold it down a little bit.
Here it goes. There it goes, Joe.
There it is. There it is.
The ash is going down.
It's lighter than air.
Might be too much.
Where are you going?
Well, I just want to
Go outside with it, because
Just trying to
you
show
gotta
you.
fill the fucking stage.
gotta fill the fucking stage if I don't get out of here.
Man, this was a great feathers gag.
Oh, did you hear that?
Jill?
All right, go. Go outside.
Jared actually was on fire. And we did a lot of testing, of course, with him, making sure that he was happy with it. We had Refrisil or Nomex clothing underneath his jacket. All of his shirts were fireproofed. And it was a very safe situation, and nobody was hurt during the course of this film.
When you're doing a burn, you hardly really know you're on fire. It's, you know, unless it's like just everything.
All over you, yeah.
Yeah. So you want
Do
to
it again? You want to try one without the hood? Or?
Yeah, you want to go without the hood?
Yeah. What is that?
It's just an alcohol-based new flame.
Flail it real fast. There you go. There you go. Like you're trying to put it out.
Oh, what happened?
That's it. You know, it'll come up over your shoulder.
Oh, good. I mean, I should. I want to.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it gets, I've moved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there any chance you don't feel comfortable,
Just
go,
say-
you say,
just
you
lay
tell
it-
somebody. Just put you out.
lay down and we'll know. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I mean,
say
it's actually,
now.
now.
yeah, now.
No, just say put it out. Put it
Put it
out.
out.
And that's why he's got the CO2. So, you know,
We,
if you feel
yeah,
uncomfortable.
you may,
you
may
feel
come
like-
up with a safe word and do your gel. You know,
Yeah.
okay? I just don't want to
And the
gel you
gel
now.
does.
Well, the gel does sort of what this does for you. It's a heat barrier,
Okay.
you know, and it's just.
But it does that catch fire?
No, it's that water gel, okay?
Okay.
You know, if you want to do it again, we can.
Yeah,
It's up
let's
to
do
you.
one more.
All right. You have the room. See, because I mean, it's barely coming over your shoulder.
But I won't touch it at first because I want to let it burn or something. And
No,
then,
well, I think you don't even know you're on fire at first.
yeah, first it's. Fuck!
Okay. You want it out?
No.
All right. You should probably put it out. Let's have it.
And action.
We were doing a lot of tests where we had a fire come from the base because it's being ignited from the base, I thought. But we did stuff, like I say, on the ceiling and on the, coming through this hole in the wall. And the dummy on fire, we called him Alfredo because he was a mess afterwards. It was a dummy that we'd always use, and he, he got pretty toasted. too, Vinny?
Yeah, got it right here.
And ready on camera?
Yes. Roll. Okay. Speed?
Hold camera.
Speed. Okay, go ahead.
2, 3, 4.
You know what?
Ready?
That's such a wait and see thing.
Say something.
We went through a lot of liquid, and it's a liquidy kind of a thing, so that's why you don't see any. It's not a gas, it's not a black powder or naphthalene or anything along those lines. So it's a liquid, and you have to atomize it and you have to control it to a certain degree. And it's also pretty dark, so you can't light it like a regular fire that you see. It's something that's extremely dark, so we had to open it up. Man, it was hot. It was great. We had fun. Had a lot of fun.